Hey everyone. So in the earlier videos we covered about multiple state schemas and how to customize the schemas and how to use reducers, all those things. Now in this video we'll cover about this filtering and trimming messages. Okay, so this is one of the most useful feature because we all know. So in order to deal with LLMs, like you need to aware of context. So how many messages we are passing in the chat, how many, so how much information we are passing. So all those things, we need to aware and what kind of a context, like what is the length of context we are passing. So that is one of the most crucial factor. How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to get the response? So those techniques so those kind of things can be implemented in an optimized way with this kind of filtering and trimming messages technique. Okay, so that's the only thing we want to cover in this video. So first step is like you can import the packages and this is normal. And so this you already know. In the LangChain core there is messages. From that you can get this AI message and human messages. You can given this message like okay, AI message is this and human message is this, and using these messages you are appending, like it's a list, right? You are appending in this way. Okay, so I given this as a context. Then what line chain will do is like it will pass in this way to the model. A message is this. So you said you are researching ocean mammals, and human message is this. Yes, I know about whales, but what others should I learn about? Hmm. Now, you asked a question, human asked a question. If you're invoking that using any one of the model, in this case it might be chat, OpenAI or Gemini, whatever it might be. So it LLM take this input and based on that it will return some response. Great question. Ocean mammals are fascinating group of. So it given some response whatever query you asked, and it given some kind of a this much message it given. Okay, so it's a pretty huge message. So you can see this number of output tokens is 434. Okay, this much data it given. Okay, fine. Then what we did, so we again using this message state, and of course we build one Langflow flowchart we implemented like my diagram. So whatever query, like so chat initially we're creating, there is only one node that is nothing but a chat model node. Okay. So we're naming it as chat model and we already created some node here on the top, that method, that one we're passing here. So whenever user ask any query, right, I'll show you. So this is the message we got earlier in the previous, we passed this data and we got this response. Now, what we're doing, like, in order to uh, manage this long conversations, we can use reducer also. That is another thing. Like in the previous video, we covered about remove messages, right? So we only pass like unnecessary messages we can remove from that entire context, and we can pass only previous two conversations or previous three conversations in that way. That is one message. That is one way. Like that is nothing but a filter. Filter, what you are doing is like you are removing based on the ID, like delete all, but keep the only two last two messages. Whatever it was there from the beginning till last two, these things you remove, these things you delete, rest everything keep. So in that way we can do some filtering techniques. In this method, what will happen is you don't need to pass that entire message context. You just need to pass only the last two messages context, right? So in that way, this filtering technique is useful. You can see this instead of start. I'm not passing the entire data. I'm applying the filter method here. Earlier, like what it's happened, like you passing the entire data, you're passing that entire context to the model. Now, what you did, you applied one filter method here. So whatever message, whatever content it is there, so it will go to this and it will remove the unnecessary all the conversations. It will only keep last two conversations and then it will pass to the chart model. This is what happening here. So we can see this example also. They given IDs in this way so that you can understand okay which IDs are removed. First message is hi, second message human it is hi, then AI message is like you're researching about this and yes I know. But what other should model learn about. So these are the IDs it given. If you print that, you'll get the data like this. Uh, in this case, what happened is you can see this. Both these ID2s are gone. So only these two messages will be there because only that's the advantage of this. So remove message, nothing but filtering technique. So we removed all the previous data. We only keep so last two IDs data or last two conversations data. So that's it. So you're passing this, then based on that, you got the AI response. Now, this is nothing but using reducer, using this remove message, nothing but a concept of filter technique. You implemented this, right? Now, what we can do, so that is like we are modifying the state, whatever state is there, so we are removing that previous two, then in that way we are giving the things. Let's say you don't want to modify the entire state, you want to just filter the messages, like you're not removing that, you're just filtering and you're just passing. You can see this example. So it is not removing anything, it's just passing from the from the one, from the particular start index, rest everything you have to pass. So in that way also you can see, right? So initially hi, so you're searching up this, and this is the actual message. And what you can do is like you can pass, you don't need to pass entire thing, you can filter that, like how we're doing this in the list method. We can do this filter technique, like start point and end point, and that in that way what kind of and also we can consider in Python range is the range method is there. Same way, you can apply this technique. The overall concept is like instead of passing the entire data in the context, you can pass some set of messages, set of context. So how you going to do that? Is one of the technique is filter. Okay. Now another approach is like trimming. Trimming means like in the filter we removed some of the things from the data. We try to do that step, but trimming means instead of passing that entire context, let's say this entire data we are passing, instead of this entire data, we can put some conditions like maximum tokens is 100. You can see this example. You can pass the entire thing, and maximum tokens it has to pass is like 100. And strategy is like last. Last means like last message it has to take care. Rest everything you can do whatever you want to do, right? So what it was doing, so it will keep the last one, so handy, right? So that's the advantage of this trim message, and um, then trim is there, another filter message. So these two things you get deep, from the LangChain itself, you can get these things. LangChain core, you can do this remove message. You can do some logic like only keeping last two things to the model context and rest everything I'm not passing. So in that way, you can save a lot of token limits and context and everything. And this is one of the technique you can use in case if you're dealing with uh, context limit and token limits. Right. Another way is trimming. So instead of passing that entire data to the model, you can trim that. So you can only pass certain amount of that. Like you can put some condition also, the strategies and token counter. So it will vary from what model you are using, the token counters. So you have to do, you have to take care of that part. This is the most important. So okay, so in this video we covered about this messaging, like how to apply this trimming and filter, so messages and stuff, passing that entire dump to the model, so you can pass the relevant information, the previous two conversation information or three conversations, certain number of conversations to the model to get the desired response. Okay, so I think we're done, and we'll see the next things in the next tutorials. Till then.